Xbox makes another update to cloud gaming that is going to give you full access across wherever you're playing Xbox. Xbox Game Pass gets a surprise drop, a game that looks like it is going to be a lot of fun. There's an interesting story coming out from Moon Studios and No Rest from the Wicked in terms of where they're going to be launching their game on console. So we have that plus many other things to go over today. Lots of stories to get into. But before we do, if you do enjoy daily gaming news and content every day of the week, make sure to hit the subscribe, share the video, like it, all of that great stuff helps get the channel out there, helps grow the community, and makes a big difference in the overall YouTube algorithm. But for now, let's get into the news. Xbox cloud gaming is going to be huge for the future. I think they're going to be utilizing this in many different ways. I think it will be big in backwards compatibility for games that don't have the ability to get the native download across all of the different Xbox devices. Although I do think they are trying to get your console games to be able to be played natively on a PC or on your handheld and be able to download them in some way. Maybe that's also just through emulation. They'll try to figure out something. I also think cloud will be one of those features that they will have to use for certain games with licensing or other issues that you don't get to be able to download them and play them on all of the different Xbox's devices that will be out in the next generation. Xbox Cloud Gaming will come in there and take over for it. And we have an update here on just how games will follow you across your Xbox, your PC, and your Windows handhelds. This is coming out here with some updates here saying that Microsoft is starting to test updates to the Xbox PC app and Xbox consoles that will allow cloud games to follow you across devices, and a new play history section of the Xbox PC app and Xbox console home UI will display cloud games as part of the recently played titles list, and this will roam across Xbox consoles, PC, and handheld. So you will see here games that you've played that you want to jump into, click on it, shows you that list. It's very easy to get back to them. It will now include cloud played games, so games that you've accessed through Xbox Cloud Gaming. Specifically, they say here that this includes all cloud playable titles, even console exclusives spanning from the original Xbox to Xbox Series X and S, whether you own the title or access it through Game Pass. This was explained here by Lily Wang, who is the product manager of Xbox Experiences. And your recent games, including cloud ones, will follow you across devices, complete with cloud-powered game saves. So if you've played an Xbox game on your console that's not natively available on PC, it will still show up in your recent games list and be playable through Xbox Cloud Gaming on Windows. So that's huge. I mean, that is a big step forward into bringing your entire library over. I'm not surprised that they are going to be focusing on cloud to get games maybe sooner rather than later on if they eventually come natively or they are able to get played through emulation, something along those lines on your handheld or your PC. But cloud will be that bridge right now for if you're playing a game on your Xbox console that isn't currently available to be downloaded on a PC or on a handheld, and there's no way that they can get around that at this point. They add it to the cloud, you're still going to get access and you're still going to be able to play it. And I've been a pretty big proponent of cloud over the last year or so, as I've been using it a decent amount on various different devices. Even when I had my ROG Ally, I was using cloud some of the time. Saves battery life, easy to jump into, didn't have to wait for downloads, and it worked completely fine. I actually have a cloud streaming handheld, the Absolute One Pro, which is a very good handheld if you want just a cloud experience. Go check out a review I did on that on the channel. So I've been pretty big here on cloud recently. My internet is good. I can get access to it if I have no real issues with lag or latency or artifacting and things like that. And if you have those luxuries, then cloud is a very good solution. Now, it's not the way that I want to primarily play my games, but it definitely comes in handy in many different scenarios. And I'm realizing that as I go through and I take my mobile controller with me out when I leave my house and when I'm sitting in bed and stuff, if I don't want to download something. So cloud is good, and it will be that thing that bridges the gap for the complete compatibility across all of the devices. But I do hope that Xbox in the background is still working on various different ways to get those games natively. Again, whether that is through emulation or whether that is to just get them up on the store and then you can download them directly to your handheld and to your PC. So lots of stuff here, but they are making these updates slowly. We are seeing that vision come out now. It's coming in smaller updates. I think once the Xbox ROG Ally does launch that handheld, you'll see a big step forward in terms of getting that functionality across all of the devices with the custom operating system that you're going to be able to install on anything, because they've already said that they're going to make that available. So if you already have an ROG Ally, you're going to be able to install that custom Xbox OS on there. I can't wait to see all this come out. And when it does eventually hit the consumers, you'll see, I think this continue to expand, them continuously updating their operating system and making a seamless integration between devices. Cloud saves is huge too, because Xbox does it the best so far out of all the platforms. They've done it very good. If you go from your PC to your console to your handheld, you jump right back into where you left off. So cool stuff here. And I'm sure this is just the beginning as they continue to trickle out more and more updates for these features. Xbox Game Pass, one of the cool things about the service is sometimes it gets random drops out of nowhere. Another one has Shadow dropped here on PC and on Xbox. And this is one that I've been looking forward to because I think it is going to be a ton of fun. That is Descenders Next. This company, No More Robots, has put a bunch of games on Game Pass, and they've also praised Game Pass. We always hear about the negative things about Game Pass when developers come out and say that it isn't good. Well, No More Robots is one of those companies that has, from the very beginning of this generation, basically said how good Game Pass has been for their company. It's allowed people to play them. It's allowed them to make more games and their games get discovered. Well, it says here that No More Robots and Rage Squid have just shadow dropped Descenders Next on PC and Xbox, bringing the high-octane follow-up to the 2018 cycling title to a new audience. And moving away from mountain biking, Descenders Next introduces two extreme sports, snowboarding and mountain boarding. So you can go ahead and play this game right now. Specifically, if you're looking exactly what this game is about, they say they're building on the success of Descenders, which has seen 35 million players since it launched 7 years ago. Descenders Next is the natural evolution of the original experience. And they asked, where do they go from here? They say, how do we deliver the same feel, the same sense of speed, but expand beyond mountain biking? From there, the idea of perfecting the fluidity of numerous sports was born. With Descenders Next, players will learn to conquer the snowy caps through tight, effortless snowboarding action before taking to the highlands with the grittier feel of mountain boarding. Each sport feels and handles differently, meaning players will have to learn to tackle the master every nook and cranny of Next. So excited about this. If you don't want to play it on Game Pass, it is available now for $30. So there you go. Another game dropped in. This will be fun. If you played the first Descenders, which was a fun game, this one here with snowboarding and mountain boarding, I think will be very fun. I actually prefer those sports, so I am going to jump in and play this one at some point upcoming here. One you can just have fun with. Go in there, do a few rounds, do a few courses and stuff, and hop off. You don't have to go through a bunch of cutscenes and story elements of it if you just want to have a quick, fun drop-in extreme sports game. All right, let's talk about No Rest for the Wicked. This is a game from Moon Studios, which looked good. I believe on PC it did decent in terms of player numbers, but it kind of did fall off as well. So I don't know if it's as successful as Moon Studios was expecting it to be. It is going to be coming out to console, and it will be coming out on every single console, but Moon Studios is now questioning how they're going to release it on console and which ones will be coming out first. They're saying here that PS5 makes the most sense at the moment for the game to launch, and they're saying this is due to market conditions. Now, none of this is confirmed. This is just them talking on Discord as well as follow-up tweets. They have this to say when it comes to where they're going to be releasing their game. Thomas Mahler from Moon Studio says here, by the way, given the current market conditions, we might only release on PS5 and potentially switch to for the time being. We'll have to discuss things with Microsoft to see what makes sense for Xbox. Then there was a follow-up to this and someone asking if Thomas Mahler could confirm. And he says this, there's nothing to officially confirm yet. We want to support consoles, and just looking at the numbers, PS5 makes the most sense at the moment. Ultimately, we'll ship on all platforms, but likely not at the same time. So this game is going to come out to all platforms. They just don't know how and when they are going to release it. They're talking to Microsoft. I wonder if they're sitting there thinking we want to try to get a deal out of this, a Game Pass deal, or maybe they're just simply looking at the install base of the platforms and thinking Xbox doesn't have enough install base, but that type of thought right now in the industry just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why they would want to skip a platform that still has millions of players on it when you're trying to make as much money off this thing at launch. And the PlayStation 5 version of this game is going to be basically the exact same as the Xbox version. Yes, I know there's different dev kits and it's different processes of getting these games launched onto Xbox and onto PlayStation. That does cost money and time, but the actual specs in the box between Xbox and PlayStation are essentially the same. Optimization can't be that much harder or different. So I just don't even see why at all a developer would look at the market conditions of the boxes with millions of players still on Xbox and think that they wouldn't want to release this all at the same time, unless they are very, very constrained here in terms of the money they have to be able to get this thing out on the console itself. We will see what happens. Maybe they're working on some sort of deal to get it into Game Pass. And that's kind of what they're mentioning here. Maybe it'll be a Game Pass launch later on. Who knows? But just kind of an interesting thing there, especially now when you're trying to get a game out there that in a very crowded area of gaming, that this game has no guarantee that it will succeed on console. You probably want to get this in front of many people as possible. So we'll see what happens when they give us the official launch confirmation for consoles for No Rest for the Wicked. Battlefield 6 is coming. We're going to be able to play this one, I think, relatively soon, whether that's in beta form or the official launch. Now the EA app is revealing that Battlefield 6 beta could start as early as August 4th. So just around the corner. This will be about 2 weeks from now. We'll be able to jump in and play Battlefield 6, at least in the beta form. And they say are as spotted by several people in the Battlefield community. The EA app has revealed that the publication date for the Battlefield 6 build will be made public on August 4th, 2025. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to try it out for myself after all the videos I've watched about Battlefield 6. The game looks phenomenal. And we're getting a Battlefield 6 Next event in the form of a Call of Duty Next event coming up on July 31st. So that makes complete sense. July 31st, you have the event. They say the beta starts August 4th. People go in and play it. And then hopefully we'll be getting the official release date sometime soon. I'm guessing this will be a fall release for it to officially launch. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This is a game that I played. I really enjoyed it. It is a first-person game. I think it's one of the most beautiful worlds. If you go out there for an open world game, it's really, really well done. And not many people talked about it when it did come out. It was delayed a bit and everything, but now they're adding a third-person update plus new game plus update for this coming in December. And I think if you haven't checked out Avatar's Frontier of Pandora, if you've been on the fence whether it's something you would be interested in, this new update may be the time to jump in, where you're going to have that option between first and third person. Like I said, it's an absolutely living and beautiful world. I think they did a very good job with it. But they put this out, a video published by Ubisoft here, saying that a free update is coming on December 5th, which introduces the two of the most requested features from the community. It says New Game Plus allows players to replay the story with their current inventory and skills, opening the door to facing tougher enemies, unlocking a new skill tree, and getting access to stronger gear. And then a third-person mode allows players to experience Pandora from a whole new perspective with the push of a button, which brings a new sense of scale, freedom, and immersion. I am absolutely going to jump into this again on December 5th. I've beat it in the game, so I'll go in there, New Game Plus, and play that in third person. I think it'd be very cool to play in third person. Always wondered what it would look like, because you know how big the avatars are compared to the humans and stuff. So I would love to see that going forward here on December 5th when it does drop. But Ubisoft does a decent job of adding free updates and adding new content to their games, try to get it to last for a long time. They do a good job with Assassin's Creed. They're doing it here with Avatar, and we'll see if more people play it when it does eventually drop. Nintendo Switch 2. I love my Switch 2. I don't like a lot of the things Nintendo has been doing, but I've really been enjoying the console since it has launched. Mario Kart World is phenomenal. Donkey Kong Bonanza is an amazing game, probably one of the best 3D platformers I've played. And I enjoy my Nintendo games, especially their first party stuff. One of my favorite series is Fire Emblem, and it looks like a new Fire Emblem may be in development right now. This is a rumor, but this is spotted by Doctray81 and has found that a veteran Japanese 3D character modeler who has worked on with Square Enix, Sega, and Cygames, amongst other publishers, revealed on LinkedIn that they have worked from January 2025 until April 2025 on the sequel of Nintendo's SRPG tactical role-playing game on the Switch 2. So that could be an upcoming Fire Emblem game. I would not be shocked if that is the case. I mean, they're going to release a new Fire Emblem game for the Switch 2. I have a feeling that it is currently in the works. They also mentioned here that while the 3D character modeler hasn't mentioned the name of the game or the series it belongs to, there's a very good chance the sequel is a new entry in the Fire Emblem series, as the other notable tactical role-playing series by the Japanese company Advance Wars hasn't seen a new entry in a very long time. And they did also release Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. So it's Fire Emblem. Like, I would take a wild guess, it's Fire Emblem that they are working on. The game sells well, it does well. I've played all of the recent ones and older ones, of course. Phenomenal tactical RPG game. So I can't wait to see what they have in store for us for the next upcoming Fire Emblem game. And finally, PlayStation, they are not off the hook on the lawsuit that they are going through. It is not looking good for them right now. They had a settlement that they had proposed for a class action lawsuit, and it's been rejected. So Sony's PlayStation's coupon settlement was rejected in a class action lawsuit. A U.S. judge has rejected Sony PlayStation's settlement for the class action lawsuit, calling it a coupon settlement. They are tried here to pay $7.8 million in electronic credits to settle the case. And they say here a report from Reuters reveals that U.S. District Judge Archeli Martinez Olguin has rejected Sony PlayStation's class action settlement, and the console manufacturer was willing to pay $7.8 million in electronic credits to the impacted users to settle the case. And the judge referred to the settlement as a coupon settlement, which is generally disfavored. The judge has asked Sony to demonstrate how the value and structure of this settlement remains defensible, and also wants to see an estimate of what individual class members would receive, along with examples of comparable cases. So Sony PlayStation is stating here they're settling to reduce further costs and the distraction of continued litigation. The settlement period includes all eligible game purchases made between April 2019 and December 2023. The plaintiff's lawyer stated that they are seeking up to approximately 33% of the settlement for legal fees, or about $2.61 million. And if 7.8 million store credits were to be distributed by 4.4 million impacted users, then each individual would receive less than $2 as a settlement in store credits. So crazy stuff there. Obviously, they're looking at this and thinking that's not very much per person here that they would be getting. If you do remember, the class action lawsuit has been ongoing since 2019. PlayStation stopped retailers like Best Buy and GameStop from selling download codes for digital games, and they've done that before. I mean, this is something that PlayStation is known for with their closed ecosystem, their closed store, that you can't go out there and buy codes for cheaper prices and everything. They're trying to lock you fully into the PlayStation network so they control the pricing of everything that they do sell. And this is where this lawsuit is popping up. And as of right now, that settlement, $7.8 million, is nothing to Sony to pay. So if they could get out of there paying $7.8 million, they would be completely okay with that. Right now, that has been rejected. So we'll see where this does go. But I'll end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.